ready to make you host yet?
I did. What we were doing.
Oh. Oh.
Testing, testing. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test Lab 1. Tesla F2.
State fair.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 2-minute warning. If you'll take your seats, please. Well, good morning and welcome back to the 11th Annual Optimist International Oratorical World Championships. And this morning, I think a lot of you are probably awaiting the results from yesterday's regionals. So we will do that after we take a group picture of the contestants. So we need to start right at 9:30 because of live streaming. So what we'll do is I'll invite you up by region. We'll all get up here. Where is our cameraman? Is he? He'll be out here, and we'll take the pictures. Then I'll have everybody go around and get their certificate, get right back in your seats as soon as possible. It's kind of like in my business where you're waiting for a jury to return. The most important thing is for then President Tom to announce the winners. So you'll go get your certificate, return to your seats. President Tom will announce the regional winners. And at that point, we certainly like to have everybody stay. But those who are regional winners will need to come up and draw for a speaking order. Okay, hopefully everybody has those instructions. So I'm going to call you up by regions, and we're going to have a big family photo. So New England and Great Lakes region, if you'll come on up and everybody give them a round of applause. And you can just start. And we'll make, you'll position everybody so you can see them in the picture, right? Great Plains region. Yeah. The Mid-Atlantic region. The Southeast region. The Southwest region. The Middle America region. The West Coast region. And joining us remotely are the St. Lawrence region and the global region.
Where do you want to?
Shorter people, please step forward.
No disrespect.
You get a priority.
Priority position.
So, right?
You help.
You, I.
Make sure you behind can see through.
So you're
Then
good.
he'll see.
Stay with
Just make sure you have a window.
What if we get one?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? We have this group get down here on the floor and then at least we able to see. There you go. And then everybody can move up.
Basically, not very far past that big sign.
Here, come on. Come on down here.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Come on down here.
That's a good idea.
We want to be able to see everybody.
It's happening. I should say. No sorority squats.
Can I, I'm sorry, but can I ask everyone at this table to move back for just a second? I'm sorry.
Just need to get.
Diana, if you would quickly get in the picture, please, if you. And virtual contestants, if you can turn on your cameras just for the picture, we'd appreciate it. This is like my house at Thanksgiving now. But we're going to do it a lot quicker than we do it at my house at Thanksgiving. So. And we're all going to leave as friends, unlike my house at Thanksgiving. Don't get in front of our cameraman there.
Fine, sure. Okay, we're good now. Everyone look this way. I'm going to count down. Take several.
It's like my house. Okay, and now contestants. Oh,
Okay, for the distribution of these certificates, we're going to have somebody for each of the regions over here will sort of tell you which one we have. I want you to come in the order in which you spoke because that's the order in which we have them stacked. So if there are a couple more optimists who could each grab a stack and we can have a different person for each region and we can get this done quickly, okay?
okay, middle America right here, if you would go. And then who do you have? Okay. And then West Coast here. Great Plains back here. Mid Atlantic. Southwest. Excuse me.
You already said that.
First of all, we need to give the contestants a round of applause on how organized you are. And once again, let's give a round of applause to parents, brothers, sisters, cousins, coaches, all those that supported you here and at home as well. Now, the worst thing in my profession, and President Tom, and I've told you he is an attorney and I'm a judge, is waiting for a jury to deliberate, and that takes forever, it seems like. But you know what? We have the results. He has the verdict. The verdict is in. So, President Tom.
Thank you, Judge Dave. May it please the court. Sorry, little lawyer joke there. These are the speakers who have successfully completed and won the regional competition from yesterday. The regional winners will receive an additional $5,000 scholarship on top of the scholarships that you've already achieved through the previous contest that you've been in. Remember, everyone here is a winner. Everyone give yourselves a round of applause. You're all winners. Reminder, these regional winners will then advance to the world competition, so you'll be drawing for your speaker order. I will announce the region, the speaker letter, and then the name, which I'm going to try to pronounce correctly, and if I mispronounce, I apologize in advance, and where that speaker is from. So we'll begin with our Region 1, which is the Northeast and Great Lakes region. The winner of the regional competition for Northeast and Great Lakes is Speaker F, Noah Prince from Michigan. Come on up.
Congratulations. Thank you. Wonderful job. I told you you did better than last time, I tell you.
Our next winner is from the Great Plains Regional Contest, who is Speaker D, Jordan Velichkov from Iowa. Yes, right over here. From our Mid-Atlantic region, we have Speaker D, Avishai Deshpande from North Carolina East.
Congratulations.
From our Southeast region, we have Speaker G, Shanique Brown from Alabama, Mississippi. by way of everything. Excellent job. All right. Now on to the Southwest. Easy for me to say. Southwest Regional. The winner is Speaker D. Maciel Vasquez from Colorado, Wyoming.
Congratulations. Excellent job. You're welcome.
Next is our Middle America region. Speaker D. Brianna Randall from Kansas. Oh, there she is. Hi, Brianna. Congratulations. All right. I forgot. Video. All right. From the West Coast region, the advancing contestant is Speaker D. Eliza Phillip from Pacific Central.
Congratulations.
From the St. Lawrence region, Eloise Poirier from Eastern Ontario.
There she is.
Congratulations. And our global winner, Bianca de la Cruz from Haiti. And those are your regional winners. Let's give them all a round of applause, please.
Thank you, President Tom. And again, congratulations to all our contestants. We will have an opportunity after your orations. And while the jury is, shouldn't say jury, the judges are deliberating. My bad. Sorry about that. When they're deliberating, we will have photo ops with presentations of their regional checks at that point. But just so we can keep the live streaming going, we will not do that now. And again, we'd love to have everybody stay and support the contestants. If someone has to leave, we certainly understand, but we would appreciate it if you could stay. Thank you all. Fantastic speeches. You know, we keep saying it's a tournament of champions, and it is. And so if you do have eligibility to come back next year, we would love to see you back here. So thank you, and we'll get started here and at 9:30. If we could have the contestants for the World Championships come on over and take your seats, please. And just another housekeeping thing, you probably already know this, but lean to your neighbor and give them those words of encouragement. Please shut off your cell phone or put it on silent, just so we don't have any inadvertently going off during the competition.
I can't wait. I wish I could.
I don't probably don't need to be on yet.
Hello, judges. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, you're looking all very bright and chipper this morning. Good to see you. Speaker A, could you go ahead and turn on your camera and your microphone so we can do a mic check?
It won't let me turn on my video. It says that the host has stopped it. I don't know how to remedy
Hopefully we
that.
can get the host in the back room to make sure that okay, so speaker right now, we can see you. Can you give us a test 1, 2, 3 ABC?
Test 1, 2, 3 ABC.
Sounds good. Okay, judges, again, could you give us a thumbs up if you can hear us and you could hear her? Okay, we've got everybody. Okay. Everybody ready? Everybody go ahead and take your seats. Well, once again, welcome to the 11th Annual Optimist International Oratorical World Championships. And we have some special guests up here in the gallery, some of our members from Joy. So let's give them a round of applause. And for those who don't know, Joy is our youth arm, and it's Junior Optimist International. So it's so great to have you here and great to have everyone here in the audience and watching at home. Again, you know, silence your cell phones. Nobody can leave while someone is speaking or re-enter. So if you need to leave, make sure it's in between the orations. and then the one that's the hardest, and you hear us say it over and over again. Each of these speeches is going to be worthy of not only applause, but standing ovations, because we've heard them, and they are all worthy. And resist that temptation. We'll save our applause until all the speakers have spoken. So don't make me call you out. This is being live streamed around the world, so don't make me call you out. But if you do start to do that, say to yourself that I can't applaud. I'm going to save it to the end, and then we'll recognize all the speakers. And just to check, Cheryl, are we ready to go then? Or is Cheryl over there? Or are we ready to go? Okay. Well, we will begin the championship contest with Speaker A.
The moment I realized I belonged, my definition of community wasn't until I was 14. But in order to understand what my 14-year-old self felt and experienced, I would have to explain my story from the very beginning. At 3 years old, I was sent to speech therapy. While most young children have trouble with various words and sounds, I was mixing up entire letters that sounded nothing alike. Unlike my peers who were eating paschetti instead of spaghetti, I was putting on my locks and loos before leaving the house. My parents knew I meant socks and shoes, but they were afraid I would continue to struggle unless we addressed it straight away. Unfortunately, I struggled regardless. While I graduated speech therapy in just 2 years, I was far from perfect. In fact, when I was 8 years old, I began to be teased for how I spoke. My classmates zeroed in on every one of my mispronunciations and pointed them out until I became ashamed of every instance of imperfection in my life. When you're teased so much for something, you often wish that part of you did not exist. So I talked less. As an even quieter child than before, I began to carefully think through my words, afraid of speaking too rashly and giving my classmates another reason to tease me. It is terrifying to realize that your biggest fear is making a mistake for something that you cannot control. So when I got to high school, I was determined to prove that I had finally gained control. I joined the speech and debate team to prove that I had not only improved my speech, but perfected it. I quickly learned that was simply untrue. I made countless mistakes, mispronounced every word, and struggled to articulate what I wanted to say. I thought I had perfected my speech, but I was wrong. Once again, I was terrified of the laughing, the pointing, the teasing. But my teammates did not do that. Instead, they rushed to help me, reassure me, and teach me how to improve. I had never experienced such support before from students my own age. That was when I realized that speech and debate was where I belonged, because the people taught me how to face what I feared the most. My teammates helped me recognize that I did not need to be perfect in order to share my story. My words have power, no matter how badly I manage to mispronounce them. Community isn't a place, but rather a support system made from the people who love you because of your flaws and humanity. It is those who help you feel empowered, no matter how terrified you may be. It is those who build you up and push you to find your true happiness as your most authentic self because they love you. And they will stop at nothing to support you. As I have grown older, I have worked hard to be that sense of support for others, creating inviting spaces with open arms in which everyone is welcome so that no one experiences the fear that I once did. Mistakes and differences are natural, and people deserve to be accepted exactly as they are. Although I've gathered the courage to share this story today, I'm still beyond terrified to mess up. But for 4 years, My speech and debate team taught me that it is okay to mess up, as long as I find the strength to continue to talk about what I care the most about. And that is exactly what I plan to do. I have found my community, my people that love me, so that I can finally, truly belong. Thank you.
Judges, if you can just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. I know you need to take time to write down your scores.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Judges, are you ready for the next contestant? Okay. Contestant B.
The moment I realized I belonged, my definition of community shifted entirely. Imagine leaving everything you know, the familiar streets, the comforting accents, the warmth of home. That was my reality when I moved from Jamaica to America. It wasn't just a change of scenery. It was a complete cultural reset. Houses were plain white, while I was used to the ambience of color in every eye corner. I felt like a puzzle piece that just didn't quite fit, struggling to find my place in this new fast-paced world. A fear of judgmental eyes for simply being different. My accent was insanely strong, and the language barrier made simple conversations difficult. The initial loneliness was profound, like a constant hum beneath the surface of every interaction. My sense of fashion and body language was different. My past uniform was below my ankle. I never had a chance to develop my own sense of creativity. Since migrating to America, for the very first time, I was able to express myself. The first genuine spark I had here was with a girl the same color as me, with my accent. We tackled the new culture together, finding comfort in the fact that we still carried a piece of home within each other. But that home did not completely fill the void of belonging that I so longed for. Through searching, something remarkable happened. I remember the day I got nudged to step onto the tennis courts. To be honest, I was hesitant, unsure if I belonged there. I had zero knowledge of what a forehand was. But the minute I swung and missed, there were no judgmental eyes. I was captivated. The energy, the cheerful joy of the game, it was magnetic. I found myself drawn back to the courts every day. Each swing of that racket was a step closer to finding my place. It didn't matter where I came from or how different I sounded. All that mattered was the game. The sport wasn't the only thread in connection. The fabric strengthened when I grew close with the newcoming coach, who made me feel just as welcomed. But I eventually gained a personal connection with him, due to the same space he created. Through his role as a preacher, my relationship with God grew. My mental and physical health was at its peak. In January 2023, my grandmother passed. First time I ever experienced grief. My circle was very small, but the love and support I had from my team was overwhelming. I've never felt love like that beyond my home. The tennis team became my anchor away from my family. We lagged, we struggled, we pushed each other to be better. Through them, I discovered a sense of belonging I never thought was a possibility for me. They are my community. In my first year, I was ranked 4. Through hard work and dedication, I am now ranked 1. So to anyone searching for their place, take the leap, embrace the unknown, and trust that somewhere out there are courts waiting for you, ready to welcome you home. Thank you.
Testing, testing. Thank you, sound team. 1, 2, 3. Test, test. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, judges, are you ready? Okay. Speaker C.
The moment I realized I belonged, my definition of community. Take one look at me, and you'll notice I'm different. My parents both immigrated to America from India, and although I was born here, I've never quite fit in. Growing up, nobody really looked like me, and I sometimes wished I had a peanut butter sandwich like everybody else. Instead, I had homemade curry and a bunch of weird looks. And I thought that if I could just go someplace where people looked like me, I'd finally belong. But on my first trip to India, I was greeted with languages I couldn't understand. Though we looked alike, I was still a foreigner to them. In that moment, I realized that I would never be as Indian as I looked or as American as I seemed. I had dreamed of a community filled with people exactly like me. And thank goodness I never found that. When I got home, I began to turn to the people around me, even if they were a little different. My first real friend group included a Filipino family, a Mexican family, and a fifth-generation American family. I still remember our first meal together. We sat around the same table. We compared last names. I tried lumpia for the first time. One of us dipped it into ketchup. And yet, no matter how different we seemed, for the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged. Not because we were the same, because we chose each other. And looking back, that dinner taught me something that I will never forget. Community is not something we find in people who are just like us, but something we build by choosing to value those who are not. And this all begins with 2 simple choices. First, look around. Dietrich Bonhoeffer once wrote, "The person who loves their dream of community will destroy community, but the person who loves those around them will create community," end quote. For years, I loved my dream of finding a community exactly like me. But if I had found that, my community would consist of only one person, me. When we chase sameness, we don't build community. We limit it. We overlook the people already around us, those who don't match our expectations, but might actually change us. But simply looking around isn't enough. That's why the second choice is to look past. Martin Luther King Jr. envisioned a world where people were not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. A world that can only happen by choice, especially when it's uncomfortable. If I had stopped at superficial differences, different cultures, faces, even condiment choices, I would have completely missed out on the friends that stood beside me while we mourned lost family members, the friends that have seen me at my worst yet never chose to walk away. And I can't help but wonder what friends we've missed out on because we were too busy chasing ourselves. Community is built the moment we look past our differences and choose people anyway. And today, our communities struggle to coexist. We divide ourselves off of the smallest differences, still chasing the illusion of perfect sameness. But like I learned all those years ago, community is not something we find in people who are just like us, but something we build by choosing to value those who are not. So when you leave this room today, I encourage you, seek out the unfamiliar and the dissimilar, because every time we choose to look around and to look past our differences, we give someone else the opportunity to finally belong. As for me, I may never find a group that's exactly like I am. And thank goodness for that. Because that little boy who spent years never quite fitting in finally found his place. Not in India, not in America, but around a table where nobody was exactly alike. So my question to all of you today is, who will you choose? Thank you.
Test one.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Judges, are you ready? Okay. Speaker D.
Hello, everyone. Today, I share with you about the moment I realized I belonged, my definition of community. An iceberg hides 90% of its mass beneath the surface. From a distance, all you can see is this beautiful white mass of ice floating along, not something capable of sinking the Titanic, which is slightly terrifying, but also very relatable, because most of us are human icebergs. You see the grades, the trophies, the "I definitely studied for this test" confidence, But underneath, there are doubts, unshared ideas, and opinions we rehearse perfectly in our heads, yet never actually say out loud. I see icebergs everywhere, in classrooms, in hallways, in students who have ideas and opinions, yet stay quiet. Not because they have nothing to say, but because no one has shown them how to believe in their voice. And I understood that feeling because I had felt it too. But for me, everything changed when my dad encouraged me to try speech and debate. For the first time, I wasn't just allowed to speak, I was encouraged to. I learned that my voice had weight, that confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. Now, the first time I gave a speech, I was shaking so much, I'm pretty sure someone in the audience figured there was an earthquake. But round by round, speech by speech, I learned how to organize my ideas and stand firm even when I felt nervous. And once I realized that confidence could be built, I started asking a bigger question. What if middle schoolers didn't have to wait years to learn that their voice matters? You see, potential doesn't mean much if it stays hidden. That question led me to co-found a nonprofit, Iceberg Speech and Debate Academy. We named it Iceberg because every child has more beneath the surface than the world can see. We started with 8 students, 8 nervous voices, unsure if they belonged. We didn't have a big stage or a big budget. We had folding chairs, practice debates, and a lot of ums and awkward pauses. But we had belief. Belief that confidence is a teachable skill and that when young people are given tools and trust, they rise. And they did. They stood taller, spoke louder, and stopped apologizing for having opinions. And then the magic spread. They told their friends, who in turn told their friends, and today Iceberg Academy serves over 80 students from 8 different middle schools. But what matters most isn't the number. It's when I realized I hadn't just built a program. I had found my community. Because community isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about helping others find theirs. The moment I realized I belonged was the moment I stopped trying to be the one floating at the top and started helping others rise from beneath the surface. Because when we help each other uncover that hidden 90%, we do more than just belong in a community. We build one. Thank you.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test.
Judges, are you ready? You can give me a thumbs up. Speaker E.
The moment I realized I belonged, my definition of community is to be a bird. Picture this. About 5 months ago, I was sitting at my desk struggling to write this very speech when a flock of birds just happened to swoop down by my window in a giant V formation. And then it clicked. Maybe these birds and I have more in common than you'd think, and maybe they could be the perfect symbol of my community. So let me tell you a story. When I was 11 years old, I had the opportunity to go on a 3-week summer camp trip to Brazil. But it was a huge risk, given that it was an international flight with no parents, and I barely knew my trip mates. And it went horribly. We got stuck in a big airline crisis, leaving us stranded in the Houston airport with no way home and no luggage. But it wasn't actually horrible. It was one of the best weekends of my life. Not only did we get to run around the airport unsupervised, screaming like banshees, but I got to know my trip mates better than I would have if everything had gone according to plan. A great philosopher I know, Dwight Schrute from The Office, once said, "You only live once." False. You live every day. You only die once. This quote reminds me how we have hundreds of possibilities every single day. And with such short lives, we have to take risks. You see, according to Audubon magazine, up to 2.6 billion birds die during migrations every year. They risk everything to find a winter home, and we all have to risk it too. Whether that's talking to a stranger, joining a club, going to Brazil. And sometimes, yes, it's not going to work out. But you might just find something amazing. And when we step outside of our comfort zones, that is where we grow. So, in the business of taking risks, I decided to start middle school in a completely different school district. And I knew nobody. So, of course, I tried to fit in. I tried so hard to wear the right clothes, talk the right way, act the right way, even have the right lunchbox. Until my reflection was foreign. And even when I followed all of those trends to a T, I still felt lonely. The realization hit me, along with the regret that I had spent so much time focused on a lunchbox that I failed to look up and appreciate those around me. There are almost 12,000 species of unique birds. Because belonging is not about conformity. It's about connection. So, with this in mind, I decided to adopt a new strategy to find my flock. According to Nat Geo, when a bird flaps its wings, it forces air downwards. This misplaces the air around it, pushing that back up, meaning that a creature behind can catch the updraft. So birds can soar due to others' effort. They work as a flock, a team. It is essential to remember to support our fellow birds in flight. Because at some point, we've all walked a few steps behind the group or not known where to sit. We've all been left out, isolated, compared ourselves to others, felt lonely. That is why we are here today. To share our stories, to empathize with each other, and to teach what a community means to us. So here are my 3 strategies to flying. First, I learned to take risks. Second, to be authentic. And finally, to support my fellow birds in flight. Through the travels and migrations of life, I have learned that community is what helps us to fly. The moment I knew I belonged was when I spread my wings. Thank you.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Judges, are you ready? If you can give me a thumbs up. Judge 3, are you ready? Okay. Speaker F.
The moment I realized I belonged, my definition of community. I think my definition of community is a bit different from others. Why, you may ask? Well, if you trace my steps through water, through service, and through stage lights, you'll see something clearly. Community for me has never been permanent. It comes, it grows, it glows, and then it goes. Let's start at the beginning. I started swimming when I was 2 or 3, too young to remember much, but I'll always remember the feeling of my instructor's gentle hand guiding me through the water, not rushing me, just helping me before asking me to float. I made friends with kids and lifeguards. Every trip to the pool felt electric, like I was known, like I belonged. Then I joined a competitive team, and suddenly it wasn't laughter, it was laps. Not connection, but correction. Day after day, week after week, we marched to the rhythm of the whistle. Encouragement, stay in your lane. Talking, restart the set. Mess up, everybody pays. We were teammates, but we weren't together. We swam beside each other instead of with each other. Eventually, I left and tried again in high school. More of the same. And slowly, the water that once felt warm began to feel heavy. By the time I joined my summer swim team, I was tired. I only knew one person. I didn't expect much, but something shifted. We raced hard, but we laughed harder. We competed, but we celebrated each other. We stayed after practice just to talk. And that's when I felt it again, that spark from the shallow end, that reminder that community isn't built by pressure, it's built by presence. But summer ended, people moved, seasons changed. And just like that, that version of us was over. And that's what I slowly started to understand. Community isn't meant to stay the same. I faced that truth again during my time in my service organization. Being in that space meant service projects, meetings, and leadership. It meant showing up for something bigger than myself. See, there's power in serving beside people who share your history and hope for the future. But even there, nothing stayed frozen. Members graduated, families relocated, leadership rotated. The room looked the same, but the faces changed. And at first, that bothered me. I wanted my community to feel permanent, solid. But service taught me this. Community isn't about keeping the same people forever. It's about carrying that same purpose forward. Then there was theater. The first time I stepped onto a stage, I felt exposed, but also embraced. Rehearsals turned into routines, inside jokes formed in the wings, and bonds were built between curtain calls. And when the curtain rises, it feels eternal. Like this cast, this crew, this moment will last forever. But then the final bow comes. The lights fade, the set comes down. The magic doesn't disappear, but the moment does. And again, I learned community lives in chapters, not in forevers. Swim seasons end, productions close, leadership rotates. The people who once felt like always slowly become remember when. See, here's what I've learned. Community is not permanent, but that's what makes it precious. If it lasted forever, we take it for granted. If it never changed, we never grow. The swim team that challenged me taught me resilience. The summer team that embraced me restored my joy. Volunteering taught me responsibility and legacy. Theater taught me vulnerability and boldness. Each one came for a season, and each one left something behind. So the moment I realized I belonged wasn't one dramatic scene, not one pool, one meeting, or one stage. It was realizing that belonging doesn't mean staying. It means showing up fully while you're there. See, community is a rhythm. It builds, it breaks, it returns in a new form. And instead of trying to freeze it, I've learned to feel it, to dive in while the water is warm, to serve while the mission is strong, to take the stage while the lights are bright. Because community doesn't promise forever, it promises growth. And if you're lucky, if you're really lucky, you'll look back and realize that every season, every shift, and every goodbye wasn't the end of belonging. It was just the beginning of a new one. Thank you.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Judges, if you're ready, when you're ready, give me a thumbs up, please. Okay, Speaker G.
The moment I realized I belonged, my definition of community. It's so easy to feel like everyone belongs but you. My context? An immigrant father from an Eastern European country called Bulgaria marrying my stepmom, an immigrant woman from Uganda, and my African American mother born in Tennessee marrying my stepdad, a small town Iowa farm boy. It was tricky for me to belong when I had all these groups I was supposed to feel connected with, but didn't. My Bulgarian heritage, specifically the 3 horizontal stripes on the national flag, helped me most with this. The top stripe is white, meant to symbolize purity, but growing up, I felt the opposite, not purely enough of anything. Around the black kids, I was called to whitewashed. With the white kids, it felt like I was always on the outside of something I couldn't quite name. And I had to ask the Bulgarians to zabavi, slow down, because I couldn't keep up in conversation. I tried so hard not to stand out. So when I took a moment to sit down and analyze all that makes me who I am, something became clearer. I kept coming back to the Bulgarian national motto: unity makes strength. Maybe my first step toward belonging was to stop seeing my difference as division and start seeing it as a bridge to unity. The middle of the flag is green, representing Bulgaria's growth. When I felt I didn't belong, I used to push myself away from groups because I was nervous. But I soon learned there was so much strength to gain from embracing them. I will never forget the Ugandan foods I've tried, including my favorite beef and rice dish, pilau. Bulgarian traditions like the red and white bracelet we wear all through March during a holiday called Baba Marta, learning to braid thick, textured hair like my own, or spending time with loving family and even farm animals. I have grown into a product of all my communities. The bottom stripe is red, representing strength and individuality. I don't need one specific community in order to belong. No, more like I belong because I have a unique purpose in all of my groups. Just as I learn from significant people in my cultures, I belong because I add a new perspective from 4 different backgrounds. That's what community is all about. A group focused on collective betterment, not despite difference, because of it. And my communities, I belong to all of them. The white stripe on the Bulgarian flag taught me I don't need to be purely one thing. Embracing my uniqueness proves unity makes strength. Green shows my growth because of the groups and the idea that I belong to all of them because they are all a part of me. And red, my belonging, and the realization that community is collective betterment. The true lesson: uniqueness shapes community belonging. The whole idea is that a blend of things comes together to create something more complete, like the Bulgarian flag, me, and us. We may not have all the same specific cultures, but I think everyone has unique aspects that have made them feel different. Together, those differences create something extraordinary, a community to which we all belong.
Can we go ahead and pull up speaker H on the screen and we can do a mic check? And if we could spotlight speaker H, since no one wants to look at the back of my head. Well, okay. Speaker H, could you do a mic check for us, please?
Test, test, 1, 2, 3.
Très bien. When we get the thumbs up from the judges, then I will announce you to begin. Looks like they are ready. Speaker H.
Lorsque j'ai compris que j'étais à ma place, j'ai trouvé ma définition de communauté. Est-ce que cette phrase me représente vraiment? Je sais pas. Est-ce qu'on peut vraiment avoir compris quelle est notre place à 13 ans? Et c'est quoi ma définition de communauté? Aujourd'hui, j'ai envie de réfléchir à ces questions avec vous. Quand je pense à communauté, 3 endroits me viennent en tête. Mon voisinage, mon école primaire et ma francophonie ontarienne. Commençons par mon voisinage, c'est-à-dire ma rue. Vous ne connaîtrez jamais de rang comme le mien. Les voisins qui viennent faire du skidoo dans la cour de tout le monde, les enfants qui passent leur nuit sur le trampoline, les poules des uns qui viennent se promener chez les autres et qui se font ensuite dévorer par les coyotes. Les heures d'exploration en forêt, sur des baies de terre et sur l'eau. Et oui, tout ça représente bien mon quartier. Par contre, laissez-moi vous raconter comment tout ça est arrivé. Vous avez déjà entendu parler de la COVID-19? Pour certains, ça a été un gros défi, mais moi, j'en garde de très bons souvenirs. Croyez-le ou non, c'est à ce moment-là, les voisins, qu'on s'est retrouvés et qu'une amitié est née. On était tous embarrés chez nous. Personne ne pouvait sortir voir leur famille ou leurs amis, alors on se retrouvait à jouer ensemble dehors à 2 mètres de distance. Quand les consignes se sont adoucies, on se retrouvait à faire des forts, à aller en vélo, à inventer des jeux sur nos balançoires. Tout devenait amusant et inspirant. Les parents se sont même créés des chats sur Facebook. On était devenus plus que des voisins et même plus que des amis en seulement quelques mois. Des gens qui se soutiennent, qui sont toujours là et qui sont prêts à tout laisser tomber pour nous venir en aide. Ma deuxième possibilité de communauté, c'est mon école primaire. Cette année, j'ai changé d'école et je peux vous dire que ça m'a un peu bouleversée. De voir du jour au lendemain changer ma routine, mes camarades de classe et mon école n'ont pas été très relaxants. Passer d'une école de 200 élèves à une école de 1200 élèves, c'est quelque chose. Moi, j'étais bien dans ma petite école de campagne avec 22 autres camarades de classe. J'étais avec eux depuis la maternelle et certains d'entre eux depuis la petite garderie. C'est comme ma famille. J'ai appris à les connaître et à presque tous les apprécier. On était tellement peu dans l'école que je connaissais tout le monde. Leur nom, leur année, puis même leur adresse. Hashtag petit village. Là, je me sentais vraiment à ma place. C'est vraiment juste dans les petites écoles et les petits villages qu'on peut vivre quelque chose du genre. Ma dernière possibilité de communauté, c'est ma francophonie ontarienne. Il faut se rappeler qu'en Ontario, seulement 4% de la population est francophone, ce qui veut dire que c'est pas mal difficile de vivre en français. Mais moi, je suis née dans une famille franco. Chez nous, c'est en français tout le temps. La famille le sait, les amis le savent, puis même les livreurs d'Amazon sont au courant. Imaginez-vous, dire le mot « Oh my God », c'est une trahison. Mes parents, c'est des fervents francophones. Mon père, dans son annuaire de fin d'année au secondaire, n'a pas été nommé futur athlète professionnel. Non, nommé futur ardent francophone. Et moi, j'ai hérité de cette francophonie et la porte fièrement. Les tournois d'impro, les pièces de théâtre, Les spectacles de musique franco-ontariens, je les ai tous faits. Avec mes amis et mes camarades de classe, c'est toujours en français. Même si eux, ils me parlent en anglais. Premièrement, parce que j'aime ma langue et je veux pas la perdre, mais aussi parce que je suis pourrie en anglais. Puis honnêtement, j'en suis un peu fière. Moi, je dis pas pineapple, je dis ananas. J'aime être franco-ontarienne. On est minoritaire, on est unique et combattant, puis ça, c'est cool. Je veux dire, ça, c'est super chouette. Alors, j'ai pas encore totalement compris quelle est ma place. Je la découvre peu à peu. Je suis patiente et vraiment bien entourée. C'est qu'une question de temps. Mais chose certaine, ici, aujourd'hui avec vous, je me sens à ma place. Merci.
Just so everyone knows, there was a technical issue with Speaker I, so she was recorded live uh, back in our tabulation room. So that's why it will be shown this way. So, but we will wait for the judges for a thumbs up before we begin. It looks like the judges are ready with the thumbs up. So Speaker I. We do not have sound, at least here in the auditorium. I don't know if the judges do or not. No. So if we could have those in the back get us some audio, we would appreciate it. Are we ready in the back to begin? Okay, let's try this again. Speaker I.
The moment I realized I belonged. My definition of community. It was in 2023 when I first enrolled at that one English school in my town. I came in insecure and unsure about myself, like many teenagers. At my first classes, I was not really the student to be praised, not because I was incapable, but because I was so unsure about myself that even when I knew the answer to a specific question asked in class, my mouth would stay sealed, terrified of judgment or critics. It had gotten so bad to the point I saw that I was not making big improvements on my learning journey. So I gave myself a pep talk on how I should get out of my comfort zone, put myself out there. It was all talk because when the classes came, I was still the same. I chickened out, too unsure, too insecure, too unbrave to actually put in the work I knew it required. The turning point was when my teacher noticed my potential and actively tried to include me by addressing directly to me simple questions during class, then actively listened to my answers and gave insightful feedback. It felt warm being included, believed in, like when you're taking a nice and hot ginger tea on a cold winter with your loved ones. It felt welcoming. And from there, I grew more open gradually, answering questions with less hesitation, more excitement, knowing I was being heard with nothing but goodwill. My classmates noticed the shift as I was less stiff and more eager to talk, painting me in a more welcoming light, which resulted with them wanting to be around me. This boosted steadily my confidence as I was in a welcoming and inclusive environment. I realized I belonged when I was less judged and more believed in. I realized I belonged when I was less looked upon my mistakes but more on my achievements. I realized I belonged when my teacher and my classmates actively made it their goal to make me feel included, supported, heard, and believed in. I knew I belonged when I felt nothing but excitement instead of fear, when it was my turn to answer a question or present a topic. And once again, the shift was phenomenal. I was invited to speak way more often because of how my confidence spoke so loudly. I got congratulated on my works so often that I grew fearless. With the feeling that I could achieve anything, I felt unstoppable, all because I was included, heard, and recognized by my teacher, then my classmates, my community. So if you are asking me, my definition of community is a place where you are heard, supported, and believed in with nothing but goodwill. A place where you are able to actively grow to be your best self. On this note, this new perspective that comes from a personal experience of mine truly changed me in the best way and has shaped my character, transforming me into that person who is always ready to believe in everyone and support them, because sometimes you only need one single sign of recognition to reach your full potential. I am the living proof. If it had not been for my community, I would still be my 2023 insecure and unsure self. So out of a grateful heart for our supported, I made it my purpose from then to become the supporter now. So when I was given the opportunity to lead a club where I had to help struggling learners like me back then, I felt like I was finally doing my part in building a community for them. A community where they can all individually be heard, supported, included, recognized, and believed in to grow to be their best version. I enrolled at that English school with the purpose to come out speaking like an American. But I came out with so much more than I could have ever imagined. Confidence in a community I can rely on. Thank you for listening to me.
Before we release the judges to a breakout room, let's give all of them a round of applause, and hopefully we'll meet them later. And now, judges, get out of here and hope to see you soon. Stick around if you would, because we're going to do the presentations of the regional scholarships. Okay, what we're going to do, Fatima, we need you to have come up here. You've met many times President Tom Kendo and President of the Optimist International Foundation, Fatima Platter. Did I? What did I say? Plater. Did I not say Plater? Fatima Plater. Wait a second. Okay. And Optimist, or Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation President Brent Carr. Okay. If we can get Speaker H back up on screen as well, we're going to go through, we're going to meet each of the contestants and introduce you to them a little bit. And you can stay in here, and then we'll replace the check when we get to the St. Lawrence. We'll do the. Okay. Speaker A, are you there? Okay, Speaker A, congratulations on being a regional champion. Would you tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself, and where are you?
Yes, my name is Brianna Randall. I'm from Lawrence, Kansas. I was sponsored by the Lawrence Breakfast Optimist Club, which I'm very appreciative of. I'm on my senior trip currently with a couple of friends and my mom, who was watching the live stream earlier, and I know my dad and my siblings are watching the live stream now, so hi to them. I'm very thankful for this opportunity to speak today. It was really amazing.
Well, congratulations. Let's give her a round of applause. Speaker B. Let's get some energy in here. And I know you're not embarrassed to speak in public, so would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Shanique Brown. I'm originally from Jamaica, but I migrated to America 4 years ago. I would like to thank the Foley Optimist Club that sponsored me I'd like to thank my mom, my stepdad, my family on the live stream, because they said I didn't thank them yesterday. But thank you, Uncle Johnny. Thank you to the rest of my family for your support. I will be attending the University of South Alabama to study business coming next month. I'm very excited, and I would like to thank the International Optimist Club for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, guys.
Speaker C. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, y'all. My name is Avishai Deshpande. I am from North Carolina. I'd like to send like a big thanks to Mr. Timothy Johnson and the Garner Club in North Carolina. A large thanks to my dad, who's here with me, my mom, Eliasha Shamel, my friend Freddie. Yes, I did meet a French person today, and they were really, really cool. So it's really nice. And my siblings have lovingly nicknamed me Optimus Prime, and I'm really trying my best, and God's showing his face to me here. So that's really nice. Thank you all for listening, and I hope my message meant something to at least one person in this room. It's really a pleasure to be here.
Congratulations. Speaker D. And tell us, I think your dad is here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Eliza Phillip. I'm a rising junior in Sacramento, California. I want to have a huge shout out to my dad for bringing me here, as well as the rest of my family who are watching online. And a special thank you to the Sacramento Optimist Club for sponsoring me and supporting me throughout this journey.
Congratulations. Speaker E. And if you would tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh, wait, sorry. Is this we got? Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Mac Vasquez. I'm from Denver, Colorado, specifically the Littleton Optimist Club. I want to say thank you to my family for taking me and for coming with me, and my speech and debate coaches, the club that sponsored me, and thank you for everyone just for being here and letting me be here. It's such an honor. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Speaker F. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. First of all, good morning or good afternoon around the world. My name is Noah Prince. I am a rising senior. I hail from the Farmington Hills chapter. And I brought my dad, my mom, and my grandfather with me, and I'm very thankful to have this experience.
Good job. With the virtual, I got to make sure EFG. Is that right? Come on down.
Photo op, please.
Okay, and if you'll tell us a little, wait, mom. Come on, mom. Come on, mom. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jordan Velichkov. I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I'm traveling here. Yay! I'm traveling here with my mom, my stepdad, my sister, and then my grandma and grandparents, and my godmother who flew here from Mexico to be here. So thank you. And I also have so many thank yous to extend, as you heard in the speech, but to my Bulgarian family who are probably watching, merci, obichante. Of course, to everyone who has helped shape me into the person I am today, the African-American family that has guided me as a biracial girl, Hi Academy, and the Freezes watching from the farm, Hi Freezes, and then all the coaches that have helped me make this speech what it is. So thank you for listening to my story.
Congratulations. Now, we're going to change. It will. Camera. And Speaker H, if you could turn on your camera. And congratulations. Here is your check from the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation and your trophy. So we'll get that to you. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So hi everyone, my name is Héloïse Poirier. I'm from Ottawa in Canada, and I'm really grateful to be here today. Thank you to the Club Optimiste of Orléans. Et merci à toute ma famille et aux amis qui regardent en ce moment. J'apprécie vraiment. Thank you.
Well, thank you and congratulations. I don't know. Okay, well, with that, why don't we take about a 10-minute break and then see where we stand on jury deliberations? Because some of you may want to know the results, but you may want to powder your nose or something in the meantime here. So try to get back here within 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would take your seats, please. Please take your seats. I'm herding cats now. Please take your seats. We're going to do some announcements. We're going to meet the judges, and then we are going to find out the results. So please take your seats. So the judges have submitted, and the scores are being tabulated in our deliberation room, which is back behind this wall. But let's meet our judges, one of which I know pretty well, I see, since she's my boss. But if Judge 1, would you please introduce yourself, and if you have anything you'd like to tell our contestants, please do. And contestants, if you want to kind of come out here so you can see the judges, that would be good. You don't have to sit there. Well, I know, but Judge 1.
Hi there, my name is Andrew Stafford. I am a French professor at Lycoming College in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. It was awesome to hear all of your stories, and community and belonging is so important, and you should all be very proud of yourself. It was an amazing experience, and just thank you for letting me take part in it.
Thank you so much for judging. Now, our camera is doing funny things on the computer, but Judge 2 or 3, whatever your number is, it looks like Judge 3 now. If you would please introduce yourself.
For sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Fatima Zaidi. I'm actually a past Junior Optimus member, and I was international president 2
We
years
got
ago.
a lot of junior optimists here right now, as you know.
Yeah. So shout out to all my Junior Optimus members. I miss you guys. And to all the contestants today, you guys all did an amazing job. I'm so proud of each and every one of you for sharing your stories today and getting on that stage and presenting to everyone. You all did an amazing, amazing job, and you should be super proud of yourselves. And I'm really grateful that I got to listen and be here today.
Well, thank you so much for judging. We greatly appreciate it. And Judge, I think number 4 in our video, but number 1 in our hearts. Who are you?
Hi there, judge friends. My name is Sarah Warner, and I am the Chief Judge of the Kansas Court of Appeals. So I have the awesome opportunity to work with judge friends every day. But I wanted to tell you all, this was such a wonderful experience. I'm so impressed by your poise, but also just your life experience and your willingness to share all of that with us. It was an excellent opportunity. And I hope that I see a lot of you, if this is something that you enjoy doing, consider a career in public service, and maybe Judge Friends and I will see you in a different capacity. So see you soon.
Well, thank you, Sarah. And I happen to be Sarah's mentor when she came in our court, and now she's my boss. So, she's our chief judge. So thank you all, and tray me in. Is Judge 2 up there now? Okay, Judge 2, I can't see you, but I think you're there with us. If you would introduce yourself, please.
I am. My camera hasn't been working, but my name's Erin Burke, and I am a French teacher in Niagara in Canada, Ontario, Canada. All of the contestants, you did such an incredible job. Your speeches were so thoughtful, and your topics were well connected, and just you should all be very proud of yourselves. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for judging. So I guess it's up to you whether you want to stay online, but our judges are excused if you would like to go. And we just thank you so much. You can also join us on live streaming as well. So, well, thank you all. Let's give them one more round of applause. And as you know, they're all bilingual. I don't even know one language, so that really impresses me. So, and how do we look on deliberations? That's what I thought. So I see the jury foreman there. Mr. Foreman, if you would come forward, Mr. President, Tom Kendo, and he has is your verdict in? If you reached a verdict, there's a verdict there. Okay, well, I will turn it over to you. And I would invite our two foundation presidents, if you would please come forward as well. And our tournament director, if you would come forward.
Okay, so we're going to begin in reverse order. So we're going to go with our third place world champion with a $5,000 scholarship, then our second place world champion with a $10,000, and finally the first place world champion with $15,000 scholarships. We have trophies for each of the speakers, and let's see if this is the correct envelope. Oh, yes, it is. Now, this envelope's been sealed in a mayonnaise jar. I'm just kidding. It was in the back. All right. So our third place world champion, hailing from the West Coast, Speaker D, Eliza Phillip from Pacific Central.
Thank you. This is very heavy. Yeah. Very heavy.
Deceptively heavy.
And remember, everyone is a winner. All right. We good? All right. Our second place world champion, hailing from the Mid-Atlantic region, Speaker C, Avishi Despande from North Carolina East.
Congratulations. Excellent.
And some excellent scholarships to go to school. All right. And our first place world champion of the Optimist International World Championships 2026, hailing from the Great Plains region, Speaker G, Jordan Velichkov from Iowa. Let's hear it for her.
Told me in the elevator. Felt good about it.
Would you like to say something?
I would love to.
Okay, do it.
Just thank you. Like I said in my speech, there are a lot of people that feel like they don't have anywhere to belong. And I hope my speech gave at least one person, hopefully more, the inspiration and hope that they do. I've been supported by the Cedar Rapids Thursday Noon Optimist Club for the last 5 years, and they have I'm so grateful for them. I have so many thanks to say to them, but they have been a great foundation for me, along as my family and everyone else who's helped make this speech possible. So just thank you so much.
Jordan, thank you for sharing your wonderful story with us and inspiring all of us to be better individuals and be better community members. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get all of our finalists and bring them up on the screen. Let's get a photo. Can we please pull up the virtual contestants if possible? Good. Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, wait. Well, we get people on the screen. Oh, oh, she's already on an airplane. Sorry. There you go. Okay, look out to the camera, everybody.
Well. Again, let's have a round of applause, not only for these speakers, but for all of our speakers. Truly, each and every one is a champion. Fantastic job. And we'd like to thank everybody that came to support the contest, in particular our Joy members. Thank each and every one of you. And we hope that all of you will become Joy members or Optimist members or both, depending on your ages. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So thank you all. That will end this year's contest. Those who are still eligible, we hope to see you next year. And thank you all, and always work for the best, expect only the best, and to be only the best. And you are all the best. So fantastic job, and we are out of here.